Hey guys, what's going on? V here again with Align Training. We're talking about some more concepts today. Going to talk about Align Engage. I'm going to give you guys an example. What we are aiming for with Align Engage, Align Release, all of Align methodologies is optimal joint positioning. What optimal joint positioning then gives us is the possibility of optimal muscular recruitment. The more of the musculature we can recruit, the less we rely on the connective tissue. I'm going to give you guys an example of how to get your body into optimal positioning. Good posture, as it's called by some people. We're going to give you the example of having a bucket. We're going to have a bucket that's going to replace your hip. You're going to pretend that you have a bucket that's filled to the brim with water. I'm going to put this band around my hips, so you can get a clear representation of the position of my hips. Now, this is what we call a level bucket or a neutral hip alignment. Where do a lot of people live? They tend to live in what we call an anterior pelvic. I am spilling water forward if I had a bucket replace my hips. What's another bad position? It's a posterior pelvic tilt, where you're spilling water backwards. Let's look at another one. How many people like to hang out here? We're spilling water that way, or on the opposite leg. Now we're spilling water that way. This is not really doing too many favors for your spine, your knees. Your hips are probably not happy with you if you're in these positions for too long durations at a time. Having said that, now we want to take this one step further. As we start to gain control over our hips, we also start to pay attention to what's happening with our rib cage. So as we stack this bucket into the position of that neutral pelvic floor, we're going to stack a second bucket, which is going to be represented by our rib cage. How many people like to live here and spill that water forward? I know a lot of office workers that do. How many people like to hang out here, spill that water backwards? Or how many people do you know that like to hang on to their purse and spill that water that way, or their shoulder bag and their messenger bag and spilling the water the opposite way? It happens more often than you think. And what we tend to observe is these things are not happening, they're not mutually exclusive. So this is the biggest awareness that we want to build around, is that we want to stack those buckets. We want to protect our spine. What do we get when we have a neutral spine and a neutral rib cage? Is now we can protect our lower back using the musculature throughout our core, our anterior abdominal core. This is also going to start addressing that tension throughout the connective tissue going out to the limbs. It's going to improve the function of all the joints that are following up and down the chain. And this is the main premise behind all of Align methodologies, but specifically Align Engage. I hope I've answered some of your questions. If you have more, please feel free to email us at fixme@align.training. Move smart, live better. See you at the next video.